Hang on, here we go. Big up everybody in YouTube land. I've got Tony Dawes with me, and we've got JPT. The season is over for Chelsea, and it looks like everything's over for Poch at Chelsea. Let's get into this. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody is good on their Wednesday evening, wherever you may be. We have a very special guest with us tonight in Early Doors TV. Tony, big up. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Thanks for inviting me on, and
Yeah,
always a pleasure to be with you. And obviously, as someone said to me earlier on, that is that JCB you're with, and I said, no, JPT. It's not JCB.
JC is from the Backstreet Boys. We're in sync. One of them.
well, yeah, JCB also they make tractors and stuff over here. JPT, like JCP trucks and like heavy loaders and stuff in building sites.
Well, then Anthony Herbert will be a fan of me then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can run in your mixing truck, and he can run in his tractor. We can see him as a race. That'd be a good start. Big up from the missus. Evening all. Thank you, Kate, for jumping in. She's probably chilling right now. JPT, how are you feeling, brother?
It's been weird. It's with the news of Poch leaving. Of course, you see the backlash. But we'll get into it. But I mean, feeling good. Been busy. Wedding coming around the corner. So
yeah.
So cheers into that.
Congrats on
that. Oh, Anthony, if you want to jump in, mate, big up to you. Big up.
Please do.
Make sure Tony fall off of his chair. I warned him about that earlier, actually, when I was after we did the spotlight. I was like, "You're not going to fall off the chair again." But if you want to jump in,
I've got two side rails either side of me at the moment, so I can't get. I can only go this much.
He's got the handrails. It's turning into a fairground run for him.
Stabilizers.
Oh yeah, training wheels. Oh, says DJ Crane. Tony, early doors. Tony.
There we doing, Tony.
That's the JPT. Mister, I ain't single no more. Unquote. Well, he's only available for 3 days. He's like an Amazon sale. If you don't get in for the next 2 days, you don't get in at all. so dial up those all, and he's got his lovely suave haircut as well. Look how good that man's hair looks right now. Even I want him.
Well, right. I've got no chance in saying anything on that one, have I? That's for sure.
Well, I'm not being funny. I don't know about you, Tony, but when you had that fuzzy wig on, mate.
Back on again.
Is he going to put it on? Oh, no way. You don't have to pull it on if it's drama.
Hey.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
Pop fluff.
Let me just flick my hair. There we go. Years I've never been able to do this. Years.
Well, there you go. DJ Crane's just cracking up in the chat. He's gone. But I think it suits him here. DJ Crane, not Tony, by the way. But yeah. So it's been a couple of weeks since me and GPT have sat next to each other talking about this, because I was in Wales last week, so I couldn't do a stream. Wow, my friend. Since the last time me and you were talking, what on earth has happened? Right.
Shit's happened.
Isn't it? Well, first things first, we did a thing to say with obviously Poch got the sack. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts, deserved or not?
Look, I'll start off by saying this. I think it was a bit harsh, but let's not pretend that when he was announced as the manager, nobody wanted him. Nobody was happy with that assignment. But now everyone is a Poch sexual. That how can they do this? But for me, I don't think he was the right man from the start. I'm just upset that it's because it doesn't make much sense to sack a manager when he's going, oh God.
They got the best looking man on the stream. It's Hot Fuzz himself. Oh no. Sorry.
The hills have eyes.
So I don't know whether to say next on this stream. Oh, hey, you guys!
Rocky Road!
Hang on, before I ask Sloth his opinion, let me finish Kate.
I've lost my train of thought, but yeah, Not what we expected or thought. After finishing with the winning 5 games in a row, I think we're the 4th best team since January. It kept seeing like those little breakdown stats of like, oh, if you take this, which I really don't pay much attention for, but they just kept showing Chelsea was just behind.
Oh shit! Oh no, that's Anthony. Put the mask back on quick.
Put it on.
Can't breathe.
Big up, Anthony. Welcome. How are you, mate? You all right?
Not too bad, Wolfing. You, mate?
Yeah, good streaming in YouTube. Football wise, I think I'm fucked.
At least 5 years.
Yeah, JPT, sorry, you were finishing. Sorry about that, bro.
Okay. So besides, I'll just wrap it up quick because I want to hear thoughts on this.
His name's Anthony.
I know. With that, you come in with that mask on, it's sloth until the stream is over.
Early doors.
Early
doors sloth. How about that? Gabrielle says, "Hey, you guys." There you go. Sorry, big up to yourself. Sorry, JPT, as you were saying.
He's gonna find another job. So I know Man United is thinking of looking at him. I still think they're gonna land Tuchel, but I'm not comfortable saying that we upgraded, which was my biggest fear. It's not so much that I wanted Poch out. It's just I know if once he's sacked, get ready for another Grant Potter situation where it's just experience. And they're looking. Once you saw what they were asking, they were looking for young, fresh man. It sounded like R. Kelly looking for his next victim. Like it was just. How is that a requirement? Instead of looking for experience, like a certain, proven. Not saying that he has to be like, has like a resume going back.
Legal.
Yes.
We're cut to the chase when it comes to R. Kelly. Legal. Okay.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like I still don't think we've found a proper manager since Tuchel. Because how are we looking around relegation? Managers like Company and newly promoted Maresca and also McKenna. We know what's going to happen. They're just looking for another guy that's going to give the least pushback. And De Zerbi, I know some people wanted De Zerbi. I wasn't too fond of him, but it's kind of obvious. He has that bit of that Italian spice that he's not going to, back down like a little punk. So, yeah, I think just, until the board's here, or especially with Win Stanley and Stewart, we're just going to look for guys who are just going to bend over and take the orders, take whatever the board is giving them, the owners, and he's going to be bent over, no Vaseline, just pure, take that. Take whatever charge, take whatever, anything we say, anything we throw, no signings. You have no say on what players you want, and just good luck. It's like as if we hadn't learned from before. As you mentioned, Wolf, it's like giving Poch a bunch of Legos and say make something. Instead of saying like what do you want, to build? What do you want to use? What do you have, planned out? And so we're gonna get this. We're gonna look at other managers of that caliber. And before, I guess it's not as bad as getting Company as your new manager. Which,
how did he? I'm still in disbelief about it. I still can't believe Company's going to Bayern Munich for getting Burnley relegated.
You know what that
Someone
is?
please explain this to me.
I'll do it unless or guest want to jump in first.
No, they're just as confused as us. So you can
know what it is?
if you can answer it as well.
Okay, so who rejected the job before Company? Nagelsmann turned him down. Tuchel, Flick. I think they even looked at De Zerbi. They were trying to go back to Tuchel, and he said no. So they had about 4 or 5 rejections before they had to set up a Company. It's just the same as when you have a friend that goes out drinking out to a club, strikes out with every girl, and then settles for the last sloth if you want, and then just calls it a day.
I don't like a sloth. I've got one on my channel.
Well, even they will make Sloth look like Kim Kardashian from the beginning. But as I'm saying, they settled and they try to go back to their ex. Tuchel's like, take me back. I will change. Bayern Munich is also in the same not the same situation, but just in a bad managerial situation as we are, and their structure is just like that right now.
It's a joke. Yeah, what's happening behind the scenes in the board? I don't know if they're drinking there or someone's handing out shots, but something looks wrong.
They're Germans. Would you be surprised?
Did someone shout me? What saying German, Rosie? I have no idea if you're German. I thought you were Scottish. Oh, Achtung.
Well, that's who.
Like, yeah, but yeah, and I'll go after Anthony as well because he made such an entrance. So it's unfair that I go to him. But yeah, give me your take on the whole. What do you think, Anthony? Poch sacking, is it a mistake or is this a brilliant masterstroke?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Wolfie, I thought it was a surprise actually because the way how Chelsea was playing, like from towards the end of the season, I thought Poch would at least have one more season in him because he was actually finding a winning formula, if you like. But obviously it wasn't to be. A lot of people saying he was sacked, but I believe he actually just walked out. He just didn't want the job anymore. That was what I was led to believe. And
funny you mentioned that, actually. I'll go into what Tony said to me. Tony said to me earlier today, actually.
Yeah, please. So that's what I was led to believe. And I mean, to be honest with you, I think with a manager like Poch, sorry, he likes to get
Pochettino.
So I've been in this mask too long. I'm not looking like you anymore, Tim. But all it is, he likes his own team, doesn't he? So he's with Bowley in charge. I think he wants to take full command. He wants to buy in the players and get the manager in and say, well, look, let's see what you can do with these players. I think sometimes that's the wrong road to go down. It's not worth doing that. I mean, the manager likes a bit of insight to the team as well. So with the new manager coming in now, I don't know. It's a surprise for me actually because obviously he did a good job at Leicester, didn't he? Got him promoted, but I just don't feel like the job's too big for him. In other words, I don't think he'd be there for long. I think he'd be there for just after Christmas, maybe, and then it'd be just like get another manager in like that sort of thing.
I hear you, and you're right. I'm not being funny. With the way it started, none of us expected Poch to work out very long, but obviously. Yeah. It didn't make sense by the end of the season when you were right there, Anthony. You're right. We were playing decent football. Like we got some good results, including against West Ham, which I'm not being funny. They'd switched off anyway because the Moyes era had come to an end there anyway. And I'm not being funny because they went out of Europe. It was just kind of like West Ham fans were kind of like Chelsea fans, and they said, "Please just finish this blasted season and get it over with, please." Yeah. It was just get it done. And on that, Tony, you were saying to me earlier on your stream about Poch's his body language, what he was saying in press conferences, how he was wording it, like he was gone already. Like, so can I ask you a question? Like on the same vibe, do you think like what Anthony just said about he just walked away and said, "Look, this isn't for me," or do you think it was one of those ones where they actually sacked him?
Like I said, when we spoke earlier on the show, for me, his body language just said it all. The comments that was being made when he's been interviewed, he was just literally kind of saying that, I'm here, but I'm gone. It just shone out for me. And then, of course, I think that's where probably the only truth that come out of that, it was on mutual consent that the pair of them left. So they parted ways that way. But I think, he's already gone at that stage. And as I said to you as well, it's not his team. As much as he got them working over the last 6 games, it still wasn't really his team. He was moulding it, but by that stage, you got to think if Bowley's still going to be around, which he obviously is going to be, he's still going to get involved. He's still going to kind of tamper. And for any manager, when the chairman starts getting involved, that's your time's done. Because no matter what, you'll be doing your team talk and that, and over your shoulder, he's there. So for a manager, it's in that respect, it's an untenable situation to be in. So I don't blame him for actually kind of leaving. in that respect. So I don't think he's actually was sacked. Maybe, you never know. It might have come out at some point. He did have a kind of confrontation. They didn't like what he said, and they could have got rid of him that way. But for me, I said he was already gone.
Well, I remember in a particular prayer, I think it was actually the one when we beat you guys at Stamford Bridge a couple of weeks back, when they said, you've got your team playing well in the last parts of the season, and what did you do to change it? And he turned around and said, it's not my team, it's the Chelsea team. And I'm thinking, that's looking back on it, I didn't quite understand it. Maybe it was one of those ones where you think about it, and maybe from his point of view, that's exactly what you and Anthony were just pointing out. Maybe it was never his team in the first place. Like JPT said, he wasn't a yes man. He didn't just bend over like certain managers might do, and just do as we tell you and nothing else. Because everyone's alluded to, if you're a manager with any sense of respect or self-worth, you're going to want to chip in a bit of your own information on signings, style, everything, Why else would you do that if you're not going to be a manager, And the thing is with, I understand, like what JPT said, and there's a good point. No Chelsea fan honestly wanted him. None of us. We were named names with like Luis Enrique, Flick, and all these kind of people, and it was just one of those ones where Poch was a disappointment to everybody. The names we were linked with suddenly Pochettino's are running for what? And one thing I will say is it's because a lot of the big countries we tried to hire said no for the very sort of reasons that all three of you have alluded to. I think they're not going to be yes men. They're not going to just bend over backwards and be like, you know what, we've got our own brains here. And look at Ten Hag as well. When he won the FA Cup, he said, "Look, if Man United don't win me, I'll just win trophies somewhere else." You know what I mean? So even with the managers that are mocked, they still want to be their own people. They're professionals like anyone else. They'll work in their own way. So it's very awkward to see. Now, can I ask you a question? And I'll go in reverse. So I'll start off on Tony on this one. What do you think of our new manager?
Flash in the pan. Good season, but you can't just kind of go by that. It could be a one-season wonder. The fact of with the limited kind of resources he had at kind of Leicester compared to what he could be having at Chelsea may make a difference. But you've got to think he's going to come into a club again. And not being funny to use guys and any Chelsea people in the chat kind of thing, and that unfortunately, when you look at when it comes to your club, you'd rather put a poison chalice around your neck rather than kind of be manager of Chelsea, because it's not exactly a great place to be managing. You have a high turnover of managers, so for you as fans of that, you just must think to yourself sometimes, "What the hell? What's going on?"
Sometimes. All the time now.
You might as well just have a revolving door kind of thing. So as soon as the manager comes in and that, he's kicking himself on the way back out again. Simple as that. So, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I mean, look, he done well. And yes, we know he's got the kind of, he's the doppelganger of Pep, but he's no Pep. Simple as that. He at least he's kind of got less up on his own merits. So you've got to kind of give him respect for doing that at least.
Well, did anyone see the thing about the Leicester points deduction today?
Yeah.
I thought that was always established, but did they say how much they were going to give?
10.
Well, I think 10 points, I do believe. It's 10 points.
Because it's based on FFP, isn't it? Or financial fair play, whether it's on how strong their squad is and how they should have sold certain players and they didn't. So I'm not being because the one thing I find it was a bit of a misconsumption about him was how can you say this guy's any good when he's won with the by far the strongest team in the championship? Now don't get me wrong, I know but how do they lose 11 games? I don't like it's. I know the championships are a very competitive league, but it's just one of those ones. If they're going to get points deductions and all this kind of thing, and it was him kind of leaving a sinking ship anyway. Do you know what I mean? If we just given this guy a lifeline, and really he's not deserved it.
And that's the thing that's going to come out, I think, more than anything else, because we found on the show earlier, we said exactly the same thing. It's the case of 10 points deduction. Taxis come along, I'm off. See ya.
rat leaving a sinking ship. That's an
Mm.
expression, but that could be interpreted in that regard. So, you know, and I'll roll it over to Sloth below me. What do you think of it? What do you think of all this crap, Anthony? Because I know me and you banter, but I know you're a serious football man at heart as well. So literally, like, give me your shout. What do you make of all this?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I mean, you know, we did pretty well at Leicester, you know, obviously getting them promoted. We mentioned about FFP with the 10 points being deducted. But, I mean, Leicester, they still got some good players there. I mean, they got Dewsbury Hall and, you know, they got in Didi there and that sort of thing. But it makes you think that those 10 points being deducted, yeah, is that team good enough to survive that? He most probably was thinking ahead, thinking, well, hang on a second. I don't think you've got the team here to survive these 10 points. At the end of the day, Wolfie, it comes down to money, doesn't it? Obviously, he's been offered a better job, more pay. He's obviously going to take it. But it's like what I said earlier in the show. I don't think I think he's going to be out by Christmas, New Year. I don't feel that results are going to go his way. It's like what I said. Bowley likes buying his own players. He's not going to get sniffed in and say, "Well, look, I think we should need this player, you know, and that player." It's not. Is Bowley is his club at the end of the day, and he's not going to listen to him, is he? And it depends if, like, knowing that manager come from the Championship to the Premier League. The other thing as well is your players, because they're top quality players. I'm not going to lie, right? Are they going to respect the manager's decision, or is it one of those where they're going to throw him under the bus to bring in the top elite manager in after, and then start listening to him? So that's another thing to think about for next season as well.
Well, like you just said, as Chelsea fans, because we want to go back to being on top, right, you know, the Premier League tree and trying to challenge for Europe again, we want elite managers. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, like, well, whether you're West Ham or anybody else, we all want elite managers, don't we? Because we want to win things as fans. So, and I'm not being funny. One thing that's blatantly strange to me is the disconnect between the Chelsea board and the fans is massive. Absolutely massive now. Because the thing is, right, kind of similar to in the Arsenal situation, but it's kind of got better with the Cronkies in the sense of the Cronkies have spent money, but we've got a board that is blatantly ignoring the fans. Yeah, if that makes sense. Now, we were me and Tony and me and Budgie have also spoken about this, and Jezza as well, about when you're a local lad from the local team, i.e. West Ham or Chelsea or whatever part of London you might be in. Right, you want, like, we associate that with, like, the local area, the people who are from that area would play there, etc., etc. And a beautiful part of a conversation me and Early Doors had as well, his Spotlight show. Let me pick that up, by the way. And it was weird because that's where the disconnect starts in the terms of it's no longer about, I can't remember who said it was, it doesn't matter who's sitting in the seats as long as someone is. So, and it kind of, yeah, it's horrible. It's a franchise more than, you know, a club, if you know what I mean. Because beforehand the people in the club dictated it how it went. Now the board dictate how it is, and everyone just has to like it and lump it. So the spin around's been absolutely horrendous. So JBT, your thoughts on the new manager and what do you think he's going to do?
I don't think he's going to last till Christmas. I'll be honest with you. He's as you mentioned, it's just someone sitting in the seat. It's just a placeholder. That's what we're looking for the managers. I mean, you mentioned like how the type of managers we're looking for is, like, you know, they were proven. I'm not saying like they have to be serial winners or even just, but they have like at least a resume that reflects that they can get a job done. What has Enzo Maresca done? He's won Man City Premier League 2 and Leicester City promotion. He squeaked by with winning the championship. But this is also the same manager that failed at Parma. It's second division Parma. So, like I said, he's just here to collect the check. He's here just another yes man on the revolving door, as Early Doors said earlier. And that door is just going to keep spinning with either the manager themselves are going to get to a boiling point where, like, look, I know I'm here as a new guy. I'm here as to prove something that I can, you know, to go into a big club or to a big job like Chelsea. But once they're going to get tired of having no say, having just being told what to do, everything. That also just they're just there not because of their skills or what the resume shows, but just because they will get the little pushback. So this is going to keep going on. It's going to keep repeating. The only thing that just baffles me is why did we give him a longer contract than Poch? With Poch, had 2 plus 1 optional. Now this guy has 5 guaranteed and then 1 optional. So twice the contract, maybe less of the pay for whatever, and then we're gonna end up paying this man just months into his at the job, and costing ourselves and dig ourselves into a deeper hole. I don't see anything changing. We're just gonna keep looking for who do we think is gonna be the next Guardiola. We see clubs doing this right now, and a lot even clubs are looking for managers that are under Pep Guardiola or mentorship. So we're gonna just keep trying to copy something that's not gonna beat the original. As long as yes, Pep is leaving next season, but Arteta has a head start, and also who's not to say that manager to come in who doesn't try to be is trying to be Pep Guardiola 2.0.
Don't fall off the chair, Tony.
So I'm not too excited. We have no choice right now but other than to see what he can do, and I'm sure by the first month or 2 in, we're going to already have an idea of what we're going to get.
Well, fair enough. We'll leave it down Enzo Maresca for a minute because I'm not being funny. Tony, are you still good? Because you look like you're dozing a bit. I've noticed that as well.
I'm getting there, mate. I am getting there, I must admit.
Because the reason why I asked Tony and Anthony to be in because West Ham are going through a manager transition like we are. And I'm pretty sure most Arsenal fans want a manager transition at Arsenal right now.
That's not who you ask. They're right or die for Arteta.
Well, okay. Yeah. Well, the thing is, this is what I wanted to get at, right? And I'll start off with Tony. It will keep him awake, right? For a start. I meant that in the greatest respect, by the way.
No, of course, mate. Of course.
But yeah. This manager revolving door, because I'm not being funny, you guys have had, because one thing that West Ham and Chelsea have had in common is we've both gone to the same person twice over the last few years. You guys with Moyes, us with Lampard, right? Now, as a West Ham fan, and the reason why I wanted Anthony here is because he can voice on this, because remember, in the eyes of the modern media, Arteta is making a stable project. Somehow he's improved Arsenal from taking them from 5th to 2nd. Massively. So, but I want to ask you, as a West Ham fan, because Arne Slot's is it not Arne Slot?
Lopetegui.
Lopetegui is your new manager, right? Having Premier League experience with him, obviously with Wolves, like how hopeful are you about your new manager, and what do you expect from him? Because it used to be everyone, whether it be Arsenal, West Ham, Chelsea, we're all about winning. Now, I want to get from the two of you now, what do you believe your board philosophies are? And because obviously, and you're taking what you believe ours is. But I want to ask Tony this first because his club are in exactly the same situation that ours are in. So they've got that manager transition. So I just want to, and if he wants to shoot after that, because if he's tired, then obviously, please, but yeah. So give me your take on it. What do you think will happen with West Ham, and what do you think the project will be from this point onwards?
I think the project is already starting because obviously there's this talk about Fabrizio Bruno that we've already kind of signed or going to be signing. So at least we're starting early and trying to get these players in. So by all accounts, going by his remit, West Ham fans are kind of very divided on this appointment. Now, obviously, some wanted Amorim. Because as you know, he came over, he had talks with David Sullivan, and it looked like it could be the choice. But as always with Sullivan, he wasn't willing to pay £12 million for a buyout clause, which for me is a no-brainer. You do it because he's an upcoming manager. With Lopetegui, he's got experience in Europe. He's obviously his short spell with the head at Wolves. And we know he left on bad terms with them by saying that there was no money there. Yet Gary O'Neill managed to get a song out of Wolves, so that tells you something in itself. But like McKeel, it's like you're with Poch. We're in the same position now. We've got to kind of give this man a chance. We've got to see what he can do. By all accounts, it's going to be a different style of football to what Moyes did. He is defensive minded, but at the same point, he also has that attacking options as well. So he has got that in his locker. So hopefully, with that, we're going to see a bit more different football than what Moyes played. So we're going to see hopefully a bit more attacking football. But as I said earlier on with when I was talking with Anthony, and that it's a case of it's who we sign. That's the key part. Now, if we're going to move on somewhere, we've got to get the right people in. I mean, obviously, as you saw last season, getting in Kudos, Piquet, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, at least, if Stetson gets on that jet plane and that, he's bringing back a decent player. So there's exciting times in that respect for West Ham. So hopefully with that, we're going to see, or we're going to win more this season, the new season compared to what we did in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully in that respect, we'll be all right.
Fair enough.
With your club, though, with this guy, you're in the same position in that respects. He is in, just because he's got the shadow of Pep behind him, he's still an unknown. So coming to a club like Chelsea,
Pep clones, man, I can't stand him.
it's you're going to talk to another guy at the moment. The other early doors there, and he's got a Pep clone as well. But we'll see.
Well, that's another thing I was just about to say, because the thing is, and this is something I spoke with Tony about, Anthony, right? About the the clone system. Now, I've already seen that for another manager, and it was called Jose Mourinho. Andres Villas-Boas and Brendan Rodgers were both Mourinho clones. I said this to Tony. It's like these guys, they feel the magic or the spirit being around great coaches, so they believe they can become great coaches themselves. Now, apparently, we're hiring this guy for the same reasons that you guys hired Arteta. Now, can I ask you a question? After 4 seasons of Arteta in charge, are you happy with the way he's ran your club?
No.
Can you go into why?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, when he first taken over, when we sacked Unai Emery, which, to be honest with you, was a shock why we sacked Unai Emery, because I really rated him. He obviously, we were 8th when we sacked Unai Emery. He finished 8th. Then he finished 8th the following season, and then obviously 5th, and then 2nd twice. I mean, not last season, but the season before. I even see to this day, Wolfie, we did bottle the league, right? But the season just gone, we didn't bottle it. Mikel Arteta ballsed up, and the only reason why he ballsed up was in that Aston Villa game. He literally changed the team around, right? Obviously,
Bayern in mind, didn't it? It was Bayern in mind.
Yeah, and he's got to accept consequences for that, but obviously he doesn't, because this manager is so stubborn. Yeah. Also, there's talks that were linked with so many players for next season. But listen, I mean, if he spends 250 million next season, he would have spent his first £1 billion there as manager of Arsenal, and he's been backed by the Cronkies. And if I was the owner going into next season, if he spends that 250 million and still doesn't deliver a trophy, right, I'll be asking questions. And then after, I'd be like, look, I'm sorry, but you've had £1 billion. This is 5 years. In 5 years, he's been in there. In November, it's bang on 5 years. So it's like what I said. If he doesn't win anything at the end of next season, I think personally, I think he should be gone. But there is talks that he's going to be offered a 3-year extension to his contract. At the minute, he's on 8 million a year. With the contract extension that he's getting, would now put his wages up from 8 million to around about 12.5 million a season. So this is what I'm getting at. I've got no faith in this manager now. I mean, I wanted the Premier League last season. We know he's going to be here next, but listen, if he's here next season, there's 2 things I want. I want the Premier League, and I want the FA Cup for the time that he's been here. So, in all fairness, in 5 years, I want 3 trophies in 5 years at least.
Can I ask you a question? Wasn't most Arsenal fans saying the same thing at the beginning of this season?
They were, and in all fairness, I was one of them. I was one
So
of
what's
them.
changed? Why have you guys suddenly just well you personally, because I can't ask you for the whole fan base, but why personally have you changed your mind? Like, why does he deserve more time now?
He doesn't. He doesn't deserve more time. In my opinion, he doesn't. But we know he's going to be the manager next season, and it's obvious. I mean, you just can't. You've got to blame Arteta, but to a certain extent, you've got to blame Edu as well. I mean, with them partnership with them two, I don't know what's coming to. I mean, we had stick last season when we bought Kai Havertz off yourself, and it was like, oh, thanks for the 65 million. I was getting that from Chelsea fans, and now it's turned the other way around for me. It was like, no, it's not thanks for the 65 million. He's thanks for Kai Havertz. I mean, he scored 14 league goals last season, and it felt like to me he's played one of his best seasons in a long time. You know what I mean? So, there's that to consider. I mean, there's talks now that we could be getting bloody Marcus Rashford from Man United. I don't know if you've heard of that, but this is what's going around now.
He would sell you Rashford, by the way, if you wanted it. I'm pretty sure Oris would sell you him. If you asked Oris nicely.
No. Or I've been on streams, a few streams with you, Oris, and you know that, don't you? And I'll tell you what now. No, I don't want Marcus Rashford nowhere near my club. I'd rather play Trossard out on that left, if I'm honest.
Well, that was my point actually about when I heard that. I was like, why would they try and replace Rashford over Trossard when they've got Martinelli that can play there as well? That signing for me made no sense.
It don't make any sense, but this is what our manager's like. I don't think he's got anything up here to create a good team, and that's.
Well, hang on.
What? I like the fact that you just made that comment there, Andy, in there, and Oris is just sitting there. All he needed was a cigar and that, and it'd be well away.
Yeah, Don Oris.
I'll just take that money. Yeah, just bring that money. I'll take it.
Give me that 90 million. Give me that 90 million, Don Edu. Don Edu, give me that 90 million.
We said the same thing with Kai Havertz.
Well, the funny thing is, right, this guy's a unique concept because he's got a manager that wins some trophies and them lot still want him gone.
No. I don't want him gone. Not me.
What? Not you? Okay.
No,
really? You want to keep him? You want to keep Ten Hag?
No,
you
it's not that I want to keep him.
You personally. Go on, tell me.
For me personally, it's not that fact I want to keep him, but for me, I think he deserves another season. Like, for me, I'm not going to blame injury and stuff. Some United fans can blame the injury that we found, but for me, obviously, he's won us this FA Cup. We were the underdogs in this FA Cup. If we sack him, there's not better replacements. Maybe the Zerbi, yeah, but McKenna's then at Ipswich. So Thomas Tuchel, no. They're absolutely not so.
Why don't you want Tuchel?
He falls out with players a lot. That's what I think. I think he falls out way too many players for me. Well, that's what
he can win you Europa.
And he'll get more out of Jadon Sancho as well, because John said Sancho played under him.
I guess he has boy Mount there.
But listen, Ratcliffe still hasn't made his decision yet. Apparently, he's going to make it this week. Romano came out today and saying it's very, it's a high possibility that they're going to part ways with him. So, if that's the case, then I want a replacement. I want them to know before they even part ways who they're going to get. I don't want to rush. I don't want them to make a rush at decision. So, I mean, whoever gets. But apparently, we might get Southgate. That's what I've been hearing.
Come on! We want our United back. Yeah, get Gareth Southgate. You'll be right back in the standing. Right? Jesus Christ.
But I don't know if you guys think about it. We be making open letters, man. We be making open letters to Ineos to not sack Ten Hag. So the fan base is a bit 50-50 with the split, man. It's so split.
You must be gutted though, Oris, because obviously David Moyes unfortunately has signed a contract with Talk Sport for the Euros and that, because I know that you'd love to have that man back in charge.
Listen, we can give you McTominay if you want as well.
Yeah, we'll have him back. Seems a fair deal.
Oris, since actually Moyes left your club, right? Who's won more European trophies, Man United or David Moyes? Ching, 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 ching. And the answer
Listen.
is David Moyes. Like, he calls me Thomas Tuchel, by the way. He says, "Well, shut your mouth, Thomas," and all that. I just say, "Shut up," or his back. But I'm not being funny. I'm pretty sure JPT we'd love to have Tuchel back because at least that guy knew what he was doing.
Listen, don't worry, you got Maresca, man. Keep faith in Maresca.
Yeah. What's your view on that?
My view. I mean,
yeah.
I think it's a weird one, man. Because I'm not comparing to Potter, but the 5-year deal just reminds me of Potter.
It's
5-year
weird.
deal, and then you guys sack him after a year. So,
and then pay him out the money.
I really do think this is going to be a good appointment. Simon Thomas is going to be a good appointment. I think he gets you into the top 6.
The lies on this guy
this season.
Oh, well, like Poch did.
Yeah,
no.
He's just going to be just as good at best.
I'm not bantering. I think Maresca. Apparently, Leicester fans have been saying that he's only got one formation, one tactic, and he doesn't change it. So, I mean,
great. I'll ask Arteta that and how that boded for him at Arsenal about having one tactic and not change. Jesus Christ.
But listen, it came out of nowhere because I thought you guys were going to get the Zerbi. In my opinion, I thought Chelsea were going to get the Zerbi. But
well, I don't particularly rate De Zerbi either, to be honest. Like I said to early doors, I like elite managers, man. If you're trying to get back on top, that's what you try and do. You try and be elite. You know what I mean? I know everyone wants to be the next best, like, Pep system in England and all that, and all these clones, but I think Poch, me personally, I'm not big on Poch because of his Spurs links. And yes, I hated him for his Spurs links, and he was one of those, he was a no-no from walking in the door. But when you got that team that you took over to 12th, that was in 12th, and you took them to 6th and got them into a cup final, he kind of overachieved a bit with them, really, in certain ways. Don't get me wrong, our league form was terrible, but our cup runs weren't. We got to a semi-final and a final. To be honest, the Premier League was probably the only competition we played crap in, to be honest, even though it's their main one. I think he done enough with, and if we've all said it, it wasn't his team anyway, to put a Lego set together and make it work the way he did. You know what I mean? It takes some credit. Sometimes to make a broken machine, a brand new machine is one thing, but to take a broken machine with spare parts and just, here you go, make it work. Like, he did all right. So I'm not a biggest fan of him, and I'm not sorry that he's gone. But at the same time, I'm just saying that, you know what, as things went, you know what I mean, he could have given the guy a bit more time. 6 months into next season, bloody hell, you might as well. You gave Di Matteo a contract for less. So, you know what I mean, 3 good months in charge, and that was it. So, you know, but yeah, it's a weird one. Luca, big up. How are you? How you doing, brother? You okay? What's your thinking about this Arteta stuff, Luca? Do you want to keep him or do you want him gone? What's your say on Arteta, by the way? I want to hear what Luca's got to say as well because he's a big Arsenal creator. So, but obviously, I want to ask everyone a question, and this will start off with GPT, then I'll ask Tony, then I'll ask Horace, then I'll ask Anthony. Just briefly, guys, because I know it's getting a bit late for some.
Yeah.
So, just quickly, if JPT, of all the managers, forget the likelihood or nothing, just on your own, like, who would you take as Chelsea manager right now, in terms of just our own personal viewpoints? If you had your choice.
Tuchel's the name that comes up, of course. Trying to also think, like, who is available right now. The Juventus manager that just got sacked, was it Allegri?
Allegri. Max Allegri.
I mean,
that's a good shout, actually. I forgot about Max Allegri.
He was booted out of Juventus quickly because what did they get? Thiago Motta as the replacement right away. So I mean, I'm sure he also had a chip on his shoulder, which I'm sure he could have used. But again, that would have been another one that comes to mind. But yeah, those two. If we were taking a risk with the young ideology, I mean, I would have been okay with De Zerbi if we were, if we Poch is already guaranteed to be gone in this situation. But it's there you go, Crane.
Don't we know it, you slut? Sorry.
Those are the names that are just coming up. But I just don't get this obsession with just trying to copy a manager that's still in the league. Like I'm pretty sure, like, we're gonna rename the EPL to England's Pep League. It's gonna be just a bunch of just these copycats or his disciples. But well, he's gonna be gone next season. And I think with what Anthony alluded to, I just want to point this out is that as you mentioned, if he doesn't win anything or at least Premier League and FA Cup this season, then he should be gone by next season. Your fan base is going to say, well, Pep is going to be out next season, so let's give him one more year. So that's one thing that's just going to happen, at least what I think is going to happen. But it's just the trouble. It's like a double-edged sword, I guess, in a way, because he's staying consistently at second for 2 years. Until he goes third or fourth, I don't think there's going to be much people saying, well, we just got to wait. We just got to wait. But until Pep leaves, I don't think it's anything's really going to change it. Who knows if he's going to change his mind at the end.
Luca AFC says, for me, I'm not sure. And do you know it's a big mistake giving Arteta a massive salary? If he doesn't win nothing next season when he signs his 3-year deals, because it means that in 3 years it could lead to 3 mistakes. I hear what you're saying in terms of like if he doesn't do it next season, and that's it. He's got to go because obviously, like what we just said about with Escar, in terms of you got to pay him out his contract then. And then if you want to get rid of him, it'll cost you like X amount, like 12 million to get rid of him. And that the same thing applies to both of us, really, because if Arteta does sign a new deal, then it's literally going to end up being exactly the same thing. Facts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Luca. I get what you're saying, but that's the risk in it when you take these up and coming Pep clones. And that's all I'm going to say, because that's the reason why a lot of them got jobs, because they were part of a successful team, so they're going to make us win. Yay. All that kind of jazz. So here we go. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, we are finished if we don't win nothing. All teams are finished if you don't win anything. It's just when do these bloody owners see it that way? That's the problem. The fan. That's what I said I was getting at. We never had this up until 10 years ago or whatever else like that, where the fan base and the board want different things. It's so strange. So Tony, quickly, I want to ask you, as the West Ham fan here, mate. Right. Okay. Was there any other managers that you would have wanted at West Ham? You can have a hypothetical and a realistic one if you like. Who would you have taken if you had the chance?
Thomas Frank has always been one I've always admired. Thomas Frank for West Ham. I like the fact that he engages with the fans. He talks a good game, and also he's not bad with his tactics. So I think that would have been a good choice for us. I mean, obviously, I know Anthony's mentioned Graham Potter. A lot of people would have touched him with a barge, but I think obviously he's been tarnished when he come to you as manager at Chelsea. I think that was the wrong move for him, for one. Hypothetically, wouldn't mind Graham. Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe wouldn't be a bad choice either. A young manager. Again, as long as he's backed, stuff like that. I mean, when you look at it with Esco and obviously, even with Arteta, they're in the shadows of Pep. And if you think about it, you're the master for one reason. You don't give out all your secrets. And as you've already alluded to, Arteta and Esca haven't got a plan B. So for you guys as Chelsea fans, that could be a worrying thing for the season.
Well, that's the thing I always criticised Arteta for, his lack of adaptability. That's the thing, because one thing about Arsenal play a set way, even when it's to their detriment. And the Villa game was exactly when Anthony said it earlier. Unai Emery had you guys so scouted in that second half. It was a joke. They played you off the park in the second half of that game, and I don't know what Arteta did to make it worse. But because he always makes bad subs anyway, like at the 87th minute or like whatever else. But yeah, that was kind of like, because it was two kinds of cliches for me. That was Unai Emery coming back, because I know Arsenal fans had to say this out loud. Unai Emery stopped Arsenal from winning the Premier League this year. If you actually look at it in terms of he beat them at home. I've alluded many times to Arteta's weakness at home, whether it be in the Premier League, because that's exactly what happened to Arsenal last year. They got exposed at home by Brighton and Southampton somehow. And Southampton were the 20th team in the Premier League at that point. And it was just like, what's this guy doing? Like, what? It raised eyebrows then, because we all thought like Southampton were going to get destroyed. They didn't. Brighton beat, what was it 2-1, Anthony?
It was 2-1.
When Cancelo played at right back. Was it 2-1 or 3-1? I can't remember. When Cancelo played at right back.
It was 2-1. It was 2-1.
It was 2-1. But
I mean, the draw against West Ham that season as well, and the draw against Southampton, you just mentioned it. So these were games that we were supposed to be winning. It should have been a comfortable, easy 3 points for us, but unfortunately it wasn't. So it was like going towards the end of the season. Listen, this guy hasn't got a plan B. He hasn't got a plan B at all. What I would like my team will be is like everybody's position, is up for grabs. Everybody should they should be playing well in their position. If they don't play well for a couple of games, they could turn around and say, right, you're on the bench, so and so is taking your place. Like compete for the positions. Like look over, make the players look over their shoulders, thinking, hey, this is a game. If I don't perform, I'm dropped next game. This is what we want. We want competition at our squad, and we used to have that. And believe it or not, it was under both George Graham and Arsene Wenger because we could rotate the team. Now we can't do that because, in all fairness, we haven't got depth at our
Yeah, I was just about to say the quality of squad you had back then, because don't forget, even when you had, say, when Wenger first came, for example, you had guys like Ian Wright and Bergkamp on the bench and things like that. So the quality, like now you guys have got Nketiah. There's no way Trossard's looking over his shoulder at Nketiah thinking this guy's a problem. No way. Absolutely no way.
But I mean, once he's gone, Eddie Nketiah, I mean, obviously he's gonna. Well, West Ham are crying out for a striker. Apparently, he's on West Ham's radar. So
that's banter. I can say that right now for the Chelsea fans that don't know this guy. That is banter. Do not check Sky Sports for that link because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Hashtag flogging a dead horse as always.
Right, and that brings me over to my happy-go-lucky Man United fan here. Oh, no, actually, I forgot to ask, because you're talking about the manager that you had. Who would be your hypothetical and realistic choices for manager if you could pick one, Anthony?
I'll take Inzaghi. Seriously.
Okay, yeah. I was going to mention Inzaghi. Yeah, please. You're the first person I've heard. Elaborate on that. Why would you take Inzaghi?
Well, he's youngest. He's a young manager. He's won trophies. You might as well call him an elite manager. I mean, for his age, he's done well. He's progressed within that team. He's bought in the right players.
Take it easy, Tony, if you want to split. Have a good one.
They got a good balance in that team.
Thank you for making it. I appreciate everything you've done. Thank you.
Cheers, team. Congratulations, not falling off your chair, mate. All right.
I'll be right this time, mate. I'm going to go afterwards. Don't worry about that. And JPT, good luck on Friday. Yeah.
Thank you. Bless
him.
Just remember when you hear the music and that.
This is wedding day.
Make sure you got your trainers on.
Oh, you didn't even tell me.
Because if you kind of decide to kind of change your mind, them trainers will make you bolt.
Where's
down
the invite, man? JPT, where's the invite?
He lives in America.
When you say the music, I think I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear this, but I feel like this song will come to mind if it's the music that comes to my head. Yeah, I had to cut it right there before we get copyright straight.
This is the Blues Brothers and Last Rats.
Hang on, so just before you go, I think you're falling off, mate.
He's got the mask back on. DJ creates Sweet Dreams, Eddie.
Yes, well, I've seen that. Take care early from Rosie. Thank you very much, and that kind of thing. And there, Sweet Dreams of Eddie and Ketia. And I'm bailing out. Take it easy, guys. Look after yourselves.
Take it easy, dude. Thank you.
See you next time. Ta-da.
Oh dear, thank you. Sorry, Anthony. Yeah, sorry. I'll put obviously Tony's channel link in the description in the chat in a second. But yes, Anthony. Sorry, your hypothetical managers of Arsenal. Obviously, the one you would want and the one that's realistic. Go on, fire away, Ducky.
Yeah. So I said, Inzaghi. I reckon he's a brilliant manager. He's done really well. He's made the team gel. He's brought in new players. With creativity and all that. They've won trophies. I think this is something that we're missing at Arsenal, to be honest with you. I mean, this guy is just same old, and I'm going to be honest with you. I've had enough of this manager now, Mikel Arteta. I mean, one FA Cup win for how long? With winning one trophy, how the hell does it keep a manager in a job for almost 5 years without winning anything? Do you know what I mean? It's way too long. If that was Chelsea, he'd be gone by now. Let's be honest. He'd be gone.
2 years, mate. Even if you look at Conte, even when you win a trophy, that guarantee you keep your job.
Yeah,
he won the FA Cup and they got rid of him.
Well.
I'll even take Conte, but now he's gone obviously. But since he's done obviously, yourselves Chelsea, and then he's gone to Tottenham as well. I don't know. I might have to take a rain check on that one, but he's just
a good manager. I wish he'd come back to Chelsea.
He is a good manager. Yeah, he is a good manager. I do like him. I do rate him. But listen, I mean, when I think Conte, when he was at Tottenham, he was on 16 million a year in wages. So but if you want these managers, you've got to spend big. You've got to. If not, this is what I don't understand. It's like with yourselves, and if Man United, when they were interested in the bloody Ipswich manager, to me that was like taking 2 steps back in one way to go like another 2 steps forward. It don't make sense, and it just seems like all these top teams, they want to go for the cheaper option, and you're thinking, well, why the bloody hell's that? Do you know what I mean? It's the same as yourself at Chelsea. You've gone for the cheaper option. So hopefully he might bring success to you. But it's like what I said. I reckon he'd be out the door by Tuesday.
Care, Tony.
I reckon he'd be out by
Tuesday. I said Tuesday. He's not even in yet.
Well, next week. Tuesday next week.
Tuesday next. Well, I'm not being funny. I wouldn't be too upset about that. It's just how much compensation we got to pay him.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Now. Okay, I wouldn't mind. I'll tell you what, Inzaghi, that's an interesting shout from Anthony, because I'm not being funny. He's been all the rage at the minute from how Inter supposedly blitz Serie A at the minute. And I must admit, the way, because we have that kind of Italian style, which was mentioned with Conte, because the fact that the 4 at the back, 5 at the back system switch that Conte, it's still kind of ingrained in our system. And if you look at the players we got at Chelsea, our system's probably better suited to that with the players we've got, because we have wing backs, not full backs. So I do hear what you're saying there. That may have been a good shout. I don't know how we didn't offer him the job, actually, because Inzaghi, and all of a sudden, and when Xavi became available, I was surprised that wasn't actually brought up. Yeah, as well. Xavi,
he wasn't going to be a pushover though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know that, but the thing is, this is the thing, because even though, like, okay, a lot of people rate Xavi, but he still won trophies at Barcelona. He still won a league title and stuff like that. So but like Anthony was just saying, if you're looking to be on the up and up, the first person you want to hear is a great name or whatever. Is the manager's name. Yeah. Here you go. Big up, Connor. Big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Doing all good. But yeah, it was one of those ones that you wish, at the very least, you've got a name in it. You want something that excites you. You know what I mean? Like the manager, because you want someone that will grab your attention. Like, yeah, this guy's elite. If Arsenal fans got Ancelotti, they'd be like, yes, this is a world-class manager. This is the same thing with us. There's a world-class manager. He's class. We know what's what. We're going to try and do something with this guy, because he wouldn't have it any other way. Same thing with Mourinho. Why we wanted Mourinho back. This guy just wants to win. Just like we want to win. We got a winning mentality from him. I wouldn't mind a third stint from Mourinho. I'd love that. But yeah, so we'll just quickly flip it to, obviously, my man Oris. Rhymes with Boris. As long as it's like not a Norris. But obviously, your dream manager is obviously Ten Hag. No, I'm joking. So who's your hypothetical and who's your realistic options?
Realistic. Well, if I'm going based off the rumours, probably the Zerbi or...
Why would you want De Zerbi though? Tell me your personal. It's not a right or wrong in it. I'm just asking.
Well, for me, he's got identity. I think when you watch my Brighton, yes, obviously, the form, they haven't been in good form if you look at the over past few months, but he's probably the best in terms of candidate wise. That are managers that are available, by the way, because it's him, Tuchel. We're linked with Thomas Frank. I would even he would stay away from but it's him, Tuchel.
Oh, Frank didn't get the link.
But
sorry, he did. Well, sorry, I sent it into it.
I thought you sent it to the chat.
But hypothetical. I think I want to surprise you guys, but listen, Gary O'Neill, man, why not? Gary O'Neill.
No, you know what? No, I didn't. I forgot to put it in the Chelsea chats. Shit. Well, Prime, hang on. Prime, the chat, the link is in the chat. So if you want to jump in, you can jump in. It was
scroll
at the top.
Up.
Yeah, that's how Oris got in. So it was kind of an open floor. My bad.
Yeah, but hypothetical, I'm gonna go with Gary O'Neill. I wouldn't mind him, Gary O'Neill. If he's available, why not?
Okay, just quickly, Latimus, I apologize, bro. I've done 2 other streams other than this one today, so I've been a busy boy, bro. If I didn't put it in the Chelsea chats that me and JPT are apart, I apologize. I was doing the Fight Week show like a couple of hours ago, so I was a bit busy, and I don't know. Looking at I didn't do it. I was just busy. Sorry, that was my bad. I apologize. Sorry, but the stream is definitely the link is there in both of ours. The chats now. If you want to jump on, please do. Sorry, man. I was very busy. I apologize for that. I got mad busy. It didn't occur to me. I apologize.
I didn't even get home until 30 minutes before the show. I've been out all day running around.
Yeah, bro. It's been peak. It's just been busy. I apologize. Literally, this is my 3rd stream, and this is the 2nd one that's gone for like nearly an hour plus. So no, all of them have gone an hour plus. So yeah, my bad. I was brain rattled. It didn't occur to me to send it. I apologize. My mistake. Sorry. Yeah. So out of all the realistic options you were saying,
Yeah, deserving, but the hypothetical, Gary Neal is a good one. Like this one, I wouldn't even mind. If we was to appoint Gary Neal, I would back him, but it depends on the structure and the players that he would need. But listen, the manager candidate is just rubbish, man. Like, it's not like Thomas Tuchel. Yes, he's won the Champions League, but I already said he falls out with players. But and plus, I could see him falling out with ownership as well. With him disagreeing with a few people because he's known to have fallouts. So that's what happened at Chelsea. He had the fallout because he didn't want Ronaldo, something like that. So yeah, but no, Gary Neal for me is hypothetical, but realistic. De Zerbi, Thomas Tuchel because he's available this summer. So wouldn't be surprised if it was to get De Zerbi or Tuchel, but let's see what happens with Ten Hag. Let's see because it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Fair enough. Me personally, if my hypothetical one would have been obviously Conte coming back. No, not Conte. Sorry, Carlo Ancelotti coming back. Sorry, if I were going to get any manager of world football to come back, it would have been Big Carlo. Because I'm not being funny. I still remember that guy's first stint at Chelsea, and when the guy's father died in his 2nd season and he went away, the Chelsea the board fired all of his backroom staff, and when he came back, it was like, "Here's your brand new backroom staff, and this is what you got to do with it." It was just like, nah. I can't believe you've done that because they even fired Ray Wilkins. I'm sure Anthony might remember that. Do you remember when and he was one of our playing legends as well? So I don't know how they got away with that.
Yeah.
Hang on, gotta go, JPT. Congrats, bro. Wish you the best, bro. Make some earthquakes in Virginia Beach. Wolf love as always, bro. Great panel, even if some fell asleep. Latest peeps. Thank you, DJ Crane. Big up. What an exit. Thank you very much. I will do my best earthquakes. Well, yeah, that's what your wedding night's for, bro. But if I could have had any manager on More Football come back, it would have been Carlo Ancelotti. But out of the ones available, Maresca. It's difficult to accept. It really is because who is this guy really? Now, the next question I want to ask everyone, and then we'll call it a night unless Prime he decides he wants to jump on. And I'll start off with Oris on this one because we'll go back round. What do you think is going to happen with United as it stands next season?
Bloody hell. Well, if they do what I've been saying on my channel, then I would hope we have a better season. I reckon we'll get in top 4. Top 4. I would like a trophy. Hopefully an FA Cup again, so we can match Arsenal's because we won away. So, listen, if we can get to if we can win another trophy, that would be amazing. That will be 3 trophies, 3 years. So, yeah, I think get back in the Champions League, which for me is not a trophy for me, but I'm just talking about where we finished this season that I just finished from 8th. And we need to try to get back in the top 4. So, hopefully, injury-free squad. Top 4 for me, and hopefully a trophy again.
Anthony?
Well, I will say one thing, Oris. I mean, with you winning the FA Cup, to me, is all about trophies. We finished 2nd, but you had a better season than us last season. That's a fact. I will say that.
It's funny you say that, actually, because it's kind of a slap in the face to all London clubs. Because think about it, London. Okay, other than Spurs, Chelsea and Arsenal's main rivals, which would have been Liverpool, Man United, Man City, etc., all of them won trophies except us.
Yeah,
Man
exactly.
United won the FA Cup, Man City won the Premier League, and Liverpool won the Carabao Cup. So we're just sitting there like, really? And everyone thought, and all the Arsenal fans thought they were going to win the Premier League as well. We were in the cup final and got beaten. So boy, it was touch and pants for the two of us, wasn't it, Anth?
It was. It definitely was. But I mean, fair play to Ten Hag. You know, in two seasons, 3 finals, 2 trophies. You know, the only problem is I know Man United fans, and I've been asking them questions, and they said even though he's won the FA Cup, the thing that defeats the object is Man United finishing 8th. Now, in all fairness, that's not really like Man United, is it, to finish that low down? He's guaranteed he's got to be a top 4. This is what's put Ten Hag's job under pressure, you know. So if he's there next season, I mean, great, you know, give him another go. He's won you trophies. If not, there is talks on the Ipswich manager. There's talks about now. It could be Gareth Southgate coming in. I mean, personally, I think this is going to be Gareth Southgate's last campaign as an England manager. You can hear it from me now. The next England manager, if Southgate is sacked or he decides to be go, the next England manager is going to be Jose Mourinho.
Maybe.
Facts. Listen. It's not 38 games to manage. I think that job will suit Mourinho. Seriously. And I reckon you do a good job. I mean, I personally think we got the best team in Euros. You know, with the players that we got, but I just don't think we got the manager there to take us all the way. I tipped us to get to the semi-finals. That'd be the furthest we'll most probably get in the Euros. But listen, I do think going back to Man United, if it's not there, listen, what's the managers out there that would manage Man United? I don't think the Brighton manager, to me, deserve it. I don't think that's like putting the Ipswich manager. Is that again? Is taking those 2 couple of steps back. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
from what you've already achieved. So you need an elite manager. Maybe tracks like, I don't know, he's out of work now in a minute, Zinedine Zidane, but you're going to have to pay big for him. But is he going to want to come to United? I mean, don't get me wrong, it could be a good project for him, but fans are allowed to be patient as well at the same time. Obviously, bringing in, because that team now at Man United, your foundations of that team still needs building, in my opinion. So, you know, and he most probably be the right guy to do that and build up with your team as well, but by bringing in players and getting rid of players. But United fans, you just got to be patient if anybody comes in like that. There's no point appointing all these other managers that hasn't won trophies or anything like that. It's a waste of time. But I know the Ipswich manager, he was at Man United when Ollie, when he was manager, when he was in the back boardroom sort of thing, or helping out as a scout or whatever it was. But, you know, I just feel that, you know, you need an elite manager. It's the same with us. I don't think Arteta's the man for us. I don't think we'll win the Premier League next season, but it still be a 2-horse race out of Man City and Arsenal to win that Premier League next season. That's all I can say. But Man City will win this again for the 5th time. They'll just carry on breaking records. And that's what they'll do.
Well, the idea is we're not set up to stop them because we're all too busy trying to be like them, which is embarrassing.
Exactly. And the only way you're going to be like them, Wolfie, is if you've got major amount of money, and you actually buy the Manchester City players yourself. You know, obviously your team. That's the only way you're going to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm not being funny. I will say I've had sense from everybody because the kind of thing that struck me tonight, and I asked you to come on as well because obviously you're an Arsenal fan, Tony being early doors and Oris being football. And I'll tell you what, Oris was a surprise pop-in because I didn't know he was going to jump in, but I'm glad he did because one thing about we've all got uniquely different manager situations, but all have the same result in terms of we sack the fucker and hire someone else. So that's basically the be all and all of it. So, you know, but look, we are going to wrap it up there. I was going to wait for Prime to turn up, but it doesn't appear that he's jumped in. But I'm gonna say this out now again. I apologize to Latimus Pratt. I'm so sorry, bro. I was so busy today. I was doing all sorts of madness today. It wasn't intentional. I do apologize for that. And you can catch him around us as well again if and when he chooses. But I'm so sorry to Prime. I did no idea that this. I'd forgotten this. I didn't even put it in our own chats. That's how bad it was because I was busy because I was learning all my shit from a Fight Week show earlier. So sorry. You can't go on an MMA show and not sound like you know what you're talking about, bro. It's embarrassing. Trust me. So you got to do your research. If you don't, that's it. But JPC, do you want to big up your channel, bro?
Yeah. Keep it real, Chelsea. See if we could do a show sometime during the summer. Just gonna be busy for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's good to do one before the big day. Glad to see Oris, Anthony, and early doors, and of course with my bro. We had to do one before. I become a taken man now. But I got to check in with the boss every time I got to do a stream now because she's got the title of boss. But I will say I just want to also end it with that because Rosie said it earlier with the fans are short of patience. I do agree, man, because I've been hearing managers to be out before Christmas time. I just always want to half the season, but we just gotta. But this is a different situation where the writing's on the wall. We already know what to expect, and until someone decides to go against the grain of trying to copy and replicate what Man City's doing,
Big up, Andy.
Nothing's gonna change. And even like I said, even with Pep leaving, I think it's just gonna take one manager that's just gonna have that elite status to come back and make the league theirs because no one's gonna beat the original. Unless Pep comes back and signs for a Premier League team, hopefully we get rid of Maresca by then and be like, we don't have to go for the duplicate. We can get the original, just pay him with whatever. Make sure he's cleared of the 115 charges before we hire him.
Yeah.
And, call it a day.
Yeah. Apparently, in a year and a half time, we should go for the original Pep. Do you think that's what we're doing? We're just using loads of stopgap measures and payouts just to make sure we don't get too powerful before we hire him,
We're ready to blow $1 billion. Why not?
We've already blown $1 billion. We did that in one season.
So why can't we just throw that same amount of money to Pep? We'll pay that. We'll push money to Pep. One season, $1 billion. Make it happen.
You know what I mean? There you go. Off you go.
Because we can't have like you said, like all these London clubs going trophyless again.
Anthony, you haven't got your own channel yet, have you? You're still on everybody else's now. You're still a bit of a tractor slut.
Yeah, a bit of a tractor slut. I was going to get one. I was going to come up with a new one called Pimp My Tractor, but
Yo, guys, what you saying? I can imagine Anthony doing that on the camera as well. That'd be it.
I was going to say, Anthony, every time you pop on the stream, though, it's not just because we're hitting, enter panel. We're going to hit the tractor beam button, and we're just going to teleport you onto the panel right here. That's what I'm going to call it from now, the tractor beam.
Yeah, I mean, I go on shows and I don't know who it is, but somebody is creating that. They got me down as the what was it? The straw chewing gooner. I love tractors. That's what it is.
That's a nice one, isn't it? Like you want to be if you want to.
I don't know who makes these up, my Wolfie, but I tell you what, they always come up in the chat whether I'm.
It might be Adam. It might be Adam. He's a prankster for that. He's always in, and I know you do him as well. Don't lie, because we know you do.
I
Well, someone does. Someone that you know does, because they got into your YouTube account. Remember when they changed your name a couple of times? Someone's dastardly out there. Hang on. Andy says, told you in Feb that Chelsea would be above Newcastle in the UFC after 38 games, Wolfie. Well, look on the bright side, Andy. Just look at it this way. It got Poch the sack. So there you go. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not being funny. We've had this whole manager thing the whole stream. So, Oris, do you want to big up your channel, bro? And big up Andy as well. I hope you're well, man, and the family are well.
Yeah, man. Big up. Yeah. Just Oris Club on YouTube. Got a couple Euros content coming up as well. So, yeah. I'm going to save that for the next few weeks. But yeah, big up GBT, Anthony, and Wolfie as well. So yeah, it's been a good one. Let's see what Maresca Ball does next season. But yeah, man, it should be interesting.
Hopefully. So right, okay. Andy, is there any channel that you do want to shout out?
Yeah, I'll just shout out Early Doors. You know, I had it down here, sort of thing. Early Doors Football TV. I go on there. We do our show, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and also we're on Sunday nights on the Sunday Night Takeaway. From time to time, you can see me on Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. The rumor is that he's doing a Friday night show on his birthday. So apparently that could be maybe 6 hours long stream or something like that. So that's where I'm going to be Friday. And also big up to Oris. Make sure you click like and subscribe to his channel. Do
Yeah,
the same
sub
for
to this
Wolfie.
guy. He's a really good guy. Sub to him. Oh, sorry. Sorry, did that come out that way? My bad. Sorry.
No,
I was only doing what Andy was doing. I was just pointing to you.
yeah, Wolfie, can you wipe your camera? There's something on there.
Oh yeah. Sorry about the smear, boys. Like, my bad. Sorry, I was watching Anthony's fan only. Sorry, and Andy's
also,
as well.
I also like GPT, good guy.
Yeah. He's one of a kind, JPT man. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him over the summer.
He's one of our own, man. He's one of our own, isn't it?
Yeah, he's one of us, man. Well, I'm not being funny. I'll be with you. They say that you grow attached to people that you suffer with, but I've suffered with this guy hard this season, and it's like next season's gonna be more of the same. So, you know, what I mean, I want to crown JPT shoulder. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's gonna be. Hopefully, it's not as bad as we think it's gonna be next season. Hopefully. And again, apologies. I said, we got any? What was the other channel you do? That corner channel you do? That when you got your own little segment in it, Anthony. I keep on forgetting. Like, because I know you do your own little segment. What is it? Because you got your own segment, right? On another channel, something like that. Not Jez's, but your own little bit. I swear, I've seen you on someone else's channel. Was it?
So with like Tony Cloud, is it?
It might have been Tony Claude, actually.
Oh yeah, I've been on Tony Claude. Yeah. I've been on. I'm just at the minute. I'm just going on random shows at the minute. So that's what I'm doing. They call me the YouTube tractor whore. So I don't know what that means, but you know that's my story.
All right. Well, on that biblical and epic note, I'll leave it there then. Oh dear. I wonder if he uses his sloth mask. No. That's thinking about it too much. Way too much. No. But boys, again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's been a mad season, but it's over. And I'm sorry it took me so long to do this stream because obviously I was on holiday last week and I celebrated my 38th birthday over the weekend. Whoopie do for me. Big up to Rosie in the chat as well for giving her support and bigging everybody up. Bless you all. And everyone else has been in the chat. And we are out of here, folks. Stay safe. And we are off. Well,